Dear friends, welcome to the serial lectures on traditional Chinese culture. Today, we will talk about Beijing Opera. We will appreciate the beauty of a virtual world. Beijing Opera, a major Chinese theatrical form, enjoys great popularity both at home and abroad. Beijing Opera is China's cultural legacy. It is one of the four national piths of China, together with martial arts, traditional medicine, and calligraphy. It is also listed among the intangible, non-material cultural heritage. Chinese opera, together with Greek tragedy and comedy, and Indian Sanskrit drama, are the three most ancient dramas in the world. Of these three, Chinese opera is the only theater which is still living. There are many local Chinese operas. Among them, Beijing Opera enjoys the greatest reputation and popularity. It is the most influential and representative national opera of China. Beijing Opera is known as one of the three theatrical systems in the world, represented by Brecht of Germany, Stanislavski of Russia, and Malin Fong of China. Brecht was the German dramatist who developed epic theater. The actor should keep a distance with the role. The performer should excel the role, being superior to the role. Stanislavski was the Russian dramatist. His experimentalism advocated the combination of actor and role. Malin Fong was a towering figure in symbolism. Artistically, Beijing Opera is perhaps the most refined opera in the world. Shall we probe into the history of Beijing Opera? Beijing Opera has existed for over 200 years. Although it is called Beijing Opera, its origin is not in Beijing, but in Anhui and Hubei provinces. Beijing Opera got its two main melodies, Erhuang style and Xipi style, from Anhui and Hubei operas. Erhuang style is gentle and gloomy, featuring southern opera, mainly from Anhui province. Xipi style is sonorous and resounding, featuring northern opera, mainly from Hubei province. Beijing Opera originated at the end of the 18th century, in 1790. Folk singers of Anhui and Hubei provinces, who were performing in Beijing created Beijing Opera by absorbing some plays, tunes, music, and arias from Kunqu Opera and Shanxi Opera. Over the time, it developed its own style and repertoire. Kunqu Opera is listed among the intangible world cultural heritage, being melodious and lyric, while Shanxi Opera is sonorous and resounding. As the story goes, Emperor Qianlong of the Qing dynasty fell interested in the local dramas during his inspection of the South in disguise. To celebrate his 80th birthday in 1790, he summoned opera troupes from different localities to perform for him in Beijing. After the celebration, some troops from Anhui province were asked to remain. The audience were particularly pleased with their beautiful melodies, colorful costumes, and interesting facial patterns. Gradually, it replaced Kunqu Opera and became extremely popular in the Qing Dynasty palace. Later, some troops from Hubei province came to Beijing and often performed together with Anhui troops. The two blended on the same stage and gradually gave birth to a new genre, which came to be known as Beijing Opera. Its repertoire includes historical plays, comedies, tragedies, and farces. Historical events are often adapted into Beijing Opera. Many plays are based on famous novels, folk tales, and fairy tales. The most famous Beijing operas include White Snake, Monkey King, Drunken Concubine, Crossroad, and Strategy of an Unguarded City. Here are the stage photos from White Snake, Drunken Concubine, and Monkey King. Major troops are concentrated in Beijing and Tianjin in the north, and Shanghai in the south. In Taiwan, the art form is known as Guoju, meaning national opera. It has also spread to other countries such as the United States and Japan. Beijing Opera is a comprehensive performing art, ingeniously combining singing, speaking or recitation, acting, and acrobatic fighting, which are separated in Western drama. Singing, recitation, acting, and acrobatic fighting are the four basic skills of an all-round, top-notch performer. Beijing Opera is a singing drama or opera. Yet, it has nothing in common with the opera or operetta of the West. In the West, an opera singer neither dances nor speaks. In a modern play, there are no singing or dancing parts. In a dance drama, the dancer neither speaks nor sings. However, Beijing Opera incorporates spoken parts, singing, dancing, and acrobatics. The performers must be versatile. An all-round, top-notch Beijing Opera performer must be good-looking or attractive when appearing in makeup, of pleasing physical proportions, with a pair of expressive eyes and a rich variety of facial expressions. Shall we begin with singing? Singing is of utmost importance. Theatre-goers go to the theatre not to see an opera, but to hear one. There are two main tunes of Beijing Opera, 二黄 and 西皮. 二黄 originated in Hui tune in Anhui province. It is lyric and gloomy, often used to express sorrow and agony. 西皮 originated in Han tune in Hubei province. It is suitable to perform in a pleasant and vivacious mood. Speaking refers to monologue and dialogue, which serve to propel the development of the story. There are two forms of recitation, 韵白 and 经白. 韵白, rhythmic vernacular, is used by main and serious characters. 韵白 is rhythmic, melodious, elegant, and very expressive. 经白, capital vernacular, is used for minor and frivolous characters. The lines are spoken in Beijing dialect. The pronunciation is hard to understand. In acting, symbolism is essential. The stage is very simple, usually one table and two chairs. Backdrops and props are kept to a minimum, making it possible to transform the small stage into the whole universe, displaying the beauty of a virtual world. Acting is not subjected to the limitation of time and space. Here, symbolism is essential. Symbolism works in Beijing Opera. Some activities in everyday life cannot possibly be reproduced on stage. Beijing Opera gives expression to them in a symbolic way. Thus, particular bodily movements signify opening a door, entering a room, going upstairs, climbing a mountain, or wading across a stream. Circling the stage, whip in hand, suggests riding a horse. Walking in a circle indicates a long journey. 4 soldiers and 4 generals flanking both sides of the stage represents an army several thousand strong. 2 men somersaulting under a spotlight shows the audience how they are groping and fighting in the dark. A performer holding an oar or paddle and doing knee bends to simulate a heavy swell demonstrates traveling on a boat. Each movement, gesture, pose, or facial expression has its pattern or formula, such as stroking the beard, setting the hat straight, swinging the sleeve, or lifting the foot. Autumn River is a case in point. The story describes a young nun who leaves the nunnery to pursue her lover. On stage, there is neither water nor boat. But through the performance of the young woman and the old boatman, the audience is able to obviously see that the stage is a river. The boat sways forward. All the way the girl complains that the boat is too slow, while the old boatman keeps teasing her, making fun of her about her anxiety to see her lover. The performance is full of wit and humor. Here, the 2 performers are kids. Another example is at the crossroad. The opera describes a fight at an inn, at a tavern. Although the fight happens at night, the stage is brightly lit. Yet the audience is able to sense that it is a pitch-dark night from the actors' performances, from their stealthy movements. Sometimes one man's sword swishes down only a few inches away from the other's face, yet the latter feels nothing, thus producing a breathtaking yet humorous effect. Water sleeves of female characters are very nice looking. Water sleeves are long and loose. They are exercised smoothly like flowing water or flying clouds. Any performers playing female roles need to learn how to toss out and bring in water sleeves. Fighting is also a must. Whether of the warrior type or not, an actor must undergo years of fundamental training in martial skills, so that every movement on the stage is gracefully and precisely executed, and every pose assumed at the end of a movement makes the performer resemble a well-executed sculpture, thereby increasing the aesthetic value of the acting. Now shall we move on to the 4 main roles in Beijing Opera? They are namely 生、旦、净、丑. The characters of Beijing Opera are classified according to sex, age, disposition, profession, and social status. There are 4 major roles today. 生 refers to male character. 旦 is female character. 净 refers to the male character with a painted face. 丑 is the comic character, the clown. It is said that the words were chosen to have the opposite meanings. 生 in Chinese may mean strange or rare. But the chief male role is a well-known character. 旦 meaning morning or dawn, daybreak, or masculine. It is contrary to the feminine nature of the character. 净 means clean. However, the paintings on their faces make the characters look unclean but colorful. 丑 sometimes represents the animal ox in the 12 earthly branches, which in some sense is slow and silent. In contrast, 丑 characters are usually quick and talkative. Shall we begin with 生? 生 is male role, the leading actor, generally positive. 生 is subdivided into 小生, 老生, 武生, and 娃娃生. 小生 young men singing falsetto voice. 老生 middle-aged or elderly men wearing long beards. 武生 military officers and generals in battle scenes, well trained in acrobatics with martial skills. 娃娃生 children. "小生 are young male characters, clean-shaven and handsome. The most distinctive feature is the combination of real and falsetto voices. The falsetto voice is shrill and high-pitched in order to sound young. So 小声 features falsetto voice. 老生 are middle-aged or old men who are decisive and dignified, having a gentle and cultivated disposition, also called 虚生 because they wear artificial beards. So 老生 features artificial beard. 武生 are young generals skilled in martial arts, highly trained in acrobatics, having a natural voice. The military generals usually carry 4 streamers or banners at the back. So 武生 features martial art. 娃娃声 is children's role, sometimes performed by females. 旦 refers to various female roles, subdivided into 老旦、青衣、花旦、武旦、刀马旦、龟门旦 and 彩旦, really diversified. 老旦 characters are elderly, dignified ladies. The performers use their natural voices, which are rich, high-pitched, and melodious. So 老旦 is elderly and dignified. The name 青衣 is mostly used in the north. In the south, 青衣 is known as 正旦. 青衣 characters are generally young or middle-aged aristocratic ladies with strict moral code and a refined disposition. Most of them are faithful wives, loving mothers, pure and virtuous in elegant costumes. In short, 青衣 is graceful, charming, and charismatic. 花旦 characters are unmarried young girls, agile and vivacious, in colored costumes with a frank and open personality, mostly from humble families or serving as maid servants in rich families. In a word, 花旦 is unmarried, lively, and most beautiful. 武旦 characters are women skilled in martial arts, including warriors, fairies, and heroic forest outlaws. They usually carry 4 streamers or banners at the back. So 武旦 is most skilled in martial arts. 刀马旦 are female generals, heroines, and horsewomen, young and high-ranking. 刀马旦 is more demanding than 武旦, usually horse women wearing cow, nice looking, good at singing, speaking, acting, and fighting. So 刀马旦 is nice looking and versatile, proficient in singing, speaking, acting, as well as acrobatic fighting. 闺门旦 are unmarried girls, still in boudoir, from either eminent or humble families, mostly introverted, shy, and pretty. So 闺门旦 is unmarried, shy, and pretty. 彩旦 or 丑婆子 are also known as clowns, sometimes performed by males. They can be either funny and witty or treacherous and cunning, in heavy, exaggerated makeup, such as matchmaker. So 彩旦 is old, ugly, and amusing in heavy makeup. 镜 are male roles with painted faces, which is rather unique. 镜 characters are romantic, highly exaggerated and decorated. They wear colorful paint on their faces, also known as 花脸. 镜 must have a strong and forceful voice to exaggerate gestures. 镜 roles are usually warriors, heroes, statesmen, adventurers, even demons. They can be either cheerful, gallant, and intrepid, or treacherous, evil, and cruel. They can be divided into 正镜, 副镜, and 武镜. 正镜 the civilian type. 副镜 the posture type. 武镜 the warrior type. 正镜 is known as 大花脸, literally meaning primary painted face. The performer mainly sings. Most characters are serious and loyal officials and generals who firmly uphold justice. 正镜 is also known as 文镜, the civilian type, as opposed to the warrior type. In brief, 正镜 focuses on singing. 副镜 actors mainly move about, speaking and striking postures, also known as 二花脸, literally meaning secondary painted face. So 副镜 focuses on performing and striking postures. Wu Jing is the warrior type as opposed to the civilian type. Wu Jing is also known as Wu Er Hua, literally meaning military painted face. Wu Jing roles involve acrobatic fighting and tumbling, with minimal singing and speaking. They are usually brave and strong, carrying 4 streamers or banners at the back. Some are immortals, while others are demons. In a word, Wu Jing concentrates on acrobatic fighting. Chou, or clown, is a comic character, also known as 小花脸, literally meaning minor painted face. Chou roles can be either sharp-witted, humorous, clever, and kind, or awkward, stingy, funny, and foolish, playing secondary and minor roles in a troupe. The male or female clowns are easy to distinguish by a white triangle or square painted around the eyes and nose, a patch of white in the middle of the face. Here we can see various clowns, really humorous and amusing. Chou roles can be divided into Wenchou and Wuchou. Wenchou are civilian clowns who speak, sing, and act, such as merchants and jailers. Wuchou are clowns with martial skills whose performance involves both speaking and acrobatic fighting, such as minor military roles. Wenchou are civilian clowns, such as 折子丑, 袍带丑, 茶衣丑, and 丑婆子. 折子丑, literally meaning clown in pleated clothing. They are princes, dudes, and rogues, seemingly romantic, unrestrained, and chic, actually indecent, vulgar, frivolous, and shallow. 袍带丑, literally meaning clown in embroidered official robe and stylish jade belt. 袍带丑 is arrogant, flattering, sinister, furtive, and evil, with surly and irritable personality. 茶衣丑, literally meaning clown in short blue tea clothing, are working people playing such roles as boatman, fisherman, woodcutter, and bartender. 丑婆子, literally meaning old, ugly, unpleasant female clown, is also known as 彩蛋. They can be either funny and witty, or treacherous and cunning, with thick, heavy, exaggerated makeup, like the matchmaker. Now, shall we move on to the facial painting in Beijing Opera? Painted facial patterns have almost become the emblem of Chinese culture. Many countries design posters and flyers using the painted facial patterns to signal a year of Chinese culture. They are painted directly on face, different from masks. The painted facial patterns apply to two roles, Jing, the male character, and Chou, the clown, showing the character's age, profession, and personality by using different colors. Each color symbolizes a certain characteristic. There are over 1,000 painted facial patterns in Beijing Opera, just like the fingerprints. Each pattern is designed for a specific historical figure and can never be used for another. Red faces have positive meanings, signifying bravery, valor, faithfulness, loyalty, courage, and probity. Guan Yu is a historical figure in the classic novel Romance of Three Kingdoms. He is worshipped by Confucianism, Buddhism, and Taoism, the three ideological streams of China. He is honored as the military sage, the military saint in Confucianism. He is the protective god in Buddhism. He is worshipped as the lord of martial valor in Taoism. There are numerous temples of Guan Yu in the countryside, just like the countless temples of Confucius in the towns. In Beijing Opera, Guan Yu is wearing a red face. White faces have negative meanings, identifying the person as treacherous, crafty, cunning, and deceitful, like Cao Cao. Cao Cao is a historical figure in the classic novel Romance of Three Kingdoms. Black faces have neutral meanings, with mild criticism, indicating that the person is straightforward and upright, however somewhat rude, coarse, and reckless. Zhang Fei has a facial design in the shape of a butterfly, really an artistic masterpiece. Zhang Fei is also a historical figure in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. Green faces have neutral meanings, identifying the person as fierce, harsh, and irritable, like Hero of the Bush. Zhu Wen, toppled the Tang dynasty. He overthrew the Tang dynasty. He was a dissolute and lustful emperor. Blue faces have neutral meanings, indicating that the person is intrepid, savage, and fierce. Sometimes sinister, arrogant, and irritable, like hero of the bush. Ma Wu was a general of the Eastern Han Dynasty. Yellow faces have mild negative meanings, indicating that the person is vicious and brutal. Dian Wei is a historical figure in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. He was a general of Cao Cao. Purple is a positive color, symbolizing wisdom and bravery, but to a less degree. Yan Yan is a historical figure in the Romance of Three Kingdoms. He was a general of Liu Bei. Gold is designed for God, supernatural and celestial being, and for monster, demon, and devil as well, being mysterious like the Monkey King in the classic novel Journey to the West or Pilgrimage to the West. Now, let's have a look at the musical instruments of Beijing Opera. The musical instruments fall into two parts, wenchang and wuchang. Wenchang includes string and wind instruments. Wuchang refers to percussion instruments. The musicians sit on the stage in plain clothes and play without written scores. Wenchang is opera orchestra, including string and wind instruments. Wuchang refers to percussion instruments, including gongs and drums of different sizes and clappers. The main musical instruments used for accompaniment are jinghu and erhu. Jinghu is the Beijing Opera fiddle. It is made of bamboo, being high-pitched. Erhu is the two-stringed fiddle. It is the Chinese violin. Other string instruments include moon lute and three-stringed plucked fiddle. Moon lute is the four-stringed plucked instrument with a moon-shaped sound box. Three-stringed plucked fiddle is also used. Here we can see all the string instruments used in Beijing Opera, as well as the fiddlestick. Sheng and suona are wind instruments. To be specific, woodwind instruments. Percussion instruments include gongs, drums, and clappers. Clappers are made of hard wood or bamboo, also known as castanets. Costumes in Beijing Opera feature bright color and magnificent embroidery. The clothes, like the court and civil costumes, are made in the style of Ming Dynasty. All the clothes are in the same style, and there is no difference as to dynasty, area, or season. The clothes are embroidered in gold, silver, and colored threads. The use of color is an art, sharply contrasting, garish, gorgeous, and bright. There is specially designed costume for each role based on rank, lifestyle, and occupation. A scholar wears blue gown. A general wears padded armor and a helmet. An emperor wears yellow dragon robe. A dignitary or high official wears purple or red robe. There's the saying, yellow for the imperial family, purple or red for high nobility. To be specific, Beijing Opera costume can be mainly divided into 5 categories: Mang, Pei, Kao, Xue, Yi. Here is Mang, the official robe. Mang is the embroidered official robe with round collar, long gown, wide brim, and a dragon pattern in different colors. Here is the embroidered official robe with dragon pattern. Pei is emperor, dignitary, and their wives' civilian clothes, with symmetrical front opening, embroidered with pattern all over, casual and informal, yet upscale and high-end. Kao is general's clothing, like armor, with 4 streamers or banners at the back. Here is the image of Zhao Yun, a historical figure in the Romans of 3 kingdoms, a general of Liu Bei. In the Changban hillside battle, Zhao Yun ventures alone into the enemy camp to rescue Liu Bei, his master. The story displays Zhao Yun's loyalty, valiancy, and heroic bearing. On stage, Zhao Yun wears cowl, a splendid robe and a cape, with 4 triangular streamers waving on the back. With his agile movements, the streamers fly and the robe gleam, vividly displaying a valiant and heroic image. Xue is most widely used for ordinary people. Almost all characters can wear xue. It is relatively plain with big sleeve, full length to the foot, and a big collar. There is a distinction in the big collar, usually slanting front or crossover collar overlapping on the right for men, and a symmetrical front opening for women. Yi is most diversified and multiple, including all the other kinds of costume, such as dignitaries' official costume, special costume, long dress, short dress, etc. Here, the dignitary is wearing official costume and a black gauze cap. The official robe is embroidered with a patch of Mandarin square, birds for civil officials, and beasts for military officers. Yi is most diversified and varied. There are official costume, court costume, eunuch clothes, arrow dress, and hero garment, to name just a few. The official costume is embroidered with a patch of Mandarin square, usually worn together with a black gauze cap. Court costume is suitable for concubine or princess in the imperial palace. Here is eunuch clothes. Eunuch is the official or attendant in the palace, serving emperor and his family, having lost sexual capacity. Arrow dress features round collar, horse hoof cuff, full length to the foot, slits in the front and back. It is suitable for many roles, from emperor, military commander, warrior, to rebellious hero. The arrow dress can be embroidered with dragon for emperor or with floral pattern. It can be plain too. Hero garment is short, tight-fitting, and convenient, designed for paladin and warrior. Besides gorgeous clothes, ruled girdles of men and headdresses and hair ornaments of women are also used. High officials wear jade belts to match purple robes. Here are coronets, the hair ornaments of women. Now, shall we get to know some famous masters of Beijing Opera? Among the audience, there is a popular saying, watching a play is watching famous actors. Listening to an opera is listening to famous performers singing. The plot or the story provides only the framework and background, while the charm, the charisma, the appeal is produced by performers. It is the art of performers. The actors are at the center. Thus, the more familiar, the more enjoyable. Watching a film once is enough. Watching it again lacks the excitement and the joy felt the first time. However, in Beijing Opera, the more familiar, the more enjoyable. A short aria or acrobatic movement will win applause. When the audience see a person performing stunts in a film, they never applaud. However, in Beijing Opera, the same scene may bring the house down. In terms of performance, there are two factions, the faction of Beijing and the faction of Shanghai. The faction of Beijing pays more attention to basic skills and abides by the rules of art strictly. It has made great contributions to inherit tradition and preserve heritage. But sometimes it is too conservative to accept new things. The faction of Shanghai is innovative and creative, good at absorbing new things, reflecting real life timely. Here is the classic Shanghai-style Beijing opera, Raccoon for a Prince, telling the story of a lost baby prince. Malin Fong, Chen Yanqiu, Xun Huisheng, and Shang Xiaoyun are known as four great Dan actors. In the late Qing dynasty, women still did not have the right to perform on stage. The four actors played the role of young women. They made significant contributions to the performance of Dan roles and the development of Beijing opera. The legendary Mei School, Chen School, Xun School, and Shang School are named after the four famous artists. Malin Fong is the best-known Beijing opera master ever. He is a superlative singer, actor, and a dancer of the female role, Qing Yi, and a towering figure in Chinese theatre. His artistic achievement cannot be surpassed. He influenced the English artist Charlie Chaplin and the German artist Bertolt Brecht. His representative operas include Drunken Concubine, King Chu bidding farewell to his concubine, the female general Mu Guiying. The Drunken Concubine depicts a woman's graceful appearance and conduct in an inebriated state, in the drunken state. He is worthy of the title of master artist. Chen Yanqiu was good at tossing out and bringing in water sleeves. He was nice looking in makeup. He often played the roles of miserable women, revealing their tragic fate. Xun Huisheng often played the roles of naive, lively, and affectionate women. He was tender, graceful, and vivacious in makeup. Shang Xiaoyun had a resonant voice. He often played the roles of heroines and female warriors. Tan Xingpei was a male role Lao Sheng player, playing the role of an elderly man. He was the founder of Tan style. He had a sound reputation. It is said that all Lao Sheng players at his time were following his style. The imitation of his arias could be heard across the street everywhere. Zhou Xingfang was a Lao Sheng player, playing the role of an elderly man. He was the founder of Qi style. Staged first at 7, he was the flag of Beijing Opera in South China, while Malin Liang in the north. He developed the characteristic Qi style of his own. Some people dislike Beijing Opera because of its slow rhythm, but if you dip into it, you may find a bright world before you, and you may be crazy about it. Thank you very much.